Sunday Lives. How you guys doing tonight? Well, you know what time it is. No, it's not move something, do something. This is Lavina, Poetic, Empress, and I'm coming at you with Nima L. Shining Star. And guess what we're going to talk about tonight? Hey, Lene Monroe, how are you, honey? Thank you for joining. We're going to talk about, can you be menopausal and sexy at the same time? Well, we gonna find out. Okay, wait a minute. Where? Hold on, guys. Oh, wait a minute. 1 second. You think I've never done this before? Except, okay, there we are.
Hello,
Welcome
hello, hello, hello.
to the platform. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. Now, wait a minute. I'm gonna see if I can sit on these things to make myself a
Okay.
little. There we go. Okay, that looks so much better. Well, you guys, yes, I'm at a different location because I had to leave my home for like 3 hours, and I was like, oh, the show still must go on. So thank uh, Divine Spirit that my sister lives like literally a couple of doors from me, and we were able to um, go on. I mean, I can come up here and go live. John Covington, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining tonight. Um, Tonight, we're talking about um, can women be menopausal and sexy? Now, if you have dealt with a menopausal woman, you're more than welcome to join. But right now, for like, let me and Nima get a conversation going, and then if you want to join and come in and give your opinion or what you might know about it, you are so welcome. But let us get a conversation going, and then we'll get a viewpoint from a man. Okay? Thank you, sweetheart. Um, excuse me. So, can you be menopausal and sexy is the question. And when I say sexy, I'm not talking about my sexy, Nima sexy, or anyone else's sexy, because only you know what your sexy is. No one can tell you but you, because it's you. So you got to, maybe do the work and pay attention. But before I even get into that conversation, I have to say that one of this. Oh, thank you for joining. I must say that for years and years, women, long time ago, used to go mad because they didn't know what was going on with their bodies. They would freak out on their kids, their husbands, themselves, because it they just hadn't got that far in society where they would deal with women being menopausal, and they just labeled them as crazy. And then there was the rumor that they just stopped having sex, and they just stopped being nice. They were just horrible people. And I think that's really sad, that they didn't know. You can't blame people for something they just
Mhm.
don't know.
Right.
And the sad thing is, yes, they have to do experiments, uh, of which could have been avoided, I believe, if we were spiritual back then, more in tune with the Creator, Divine Spirit. That's what I choose. I call Divine Spirit nature, or Divine Spirit. I'll say Goddess, God, Mother, God, Father, God. In any case, your higher being, the one who really started all of this. But
Hmm.
I believe that if we were more in tune, we would have had some insight into what was going on with us. And it might have been that some of the healers then did had an insight, but they were being wiped out. So, there went the truth with that. But we are grateful that the divine order is in place and we're able to connect,
right,
and what's going on with us. And I can testify to that because, like, I guess a few years ago, my hair is, I've always had a nice decayed hair. And you guys see my live shows. And I'm grateful I still have a nice head of hair, but it thinned out. And I was like, and when I say thinned out, I'm like noticeable thin out. And I was like, what is going on? And my scalp was hurting. And I was like, oh my God, am I going crazy? And that's how I felt because I never experienced anything like that before. And it freaked me out. And I was going to the doctor, what is going on with me? Well, you guys, when I don't know about nobody else, but when I read it was from menopause, honey, you talking about somebody praising device because I didn't know what it was or what it could possibly be. And I've heard so many different stories about women being menopausal. It just freaked me out. But I'm gonna tell you, it was the best thing ever to my ears. Now, where do I go from here? Well, I started reading up on like stuff that could help me. Taking bio, wait a minute. That's a shame. I take these little gummy things every day for my hair. And it's a shame because my sister knows because
I
she
get
gets
it.
them for me.
And it's for hair, skin, and nails.
Yes, yes, that part. And believe it or not, how I was thrown into menopause was through being having surgery after being diagnosed with breast cancer. And they tell you that with women who are not 25, over 30,
I like that.
subject to being forced into menopause. And with that, that whole dynamic of cancer, the surgery, the treatments that they give and the medicine is dangerous just across the board. I'm grateful that it helps, but I would prefer not to experience the radiation treatments, but it could have been worse because it could have been the chemo treatments. You understand? So I don't want y'all to ever think I am sitting here complaining, because I am so not, because I could have had my breast cut off, removed. I could have died during the whole experience, but I'm so thankful and grateful I'm still here. And be careful and question, because I was asking the doctors all kind of questions, and I didn't even realize the radiologist that dealt with me. She was so happy, and she would tell. She's like, "I'm so impressed with you because you're asking so many questions." And then I was going through the motions. However I felt that day, it was coming out. If I was angry, I was angry. She said, "Lavina, that's the best thing for you is to deal with how you're feeling immediately. Don't wait until everything's done." And she said so many women do that. But okay, push it back to the side. Like I said, when my hair started going, and it didn't go missing like a straight bald spot. It was like my lock, like that. Oh, why my lock so thin right there? You understand? What is going on? And so the ones that was thinning, I just doubled them together, and I'm grateful that I was able to do that. But so many women go through things worse than that, being menopausal. They have the mood swings. They have trouble, pain even during sex. They have pain, or there's dryness. There's women who don't want to be bothered with their husbands anymore, boyfriends, lovers. They don't want anything to do with them. They shy away from their kids. They shy away from society. They withdraw. And that's exactly why Nima and myself are here tonight to tell you we don't have to do that anymore. And tapping into, I don't like to use the word tap because I don't want to just tap something and then I got to keep coming back to tap. If I'm connected, I can just go straight to the source. Help me on this. What should I do? And I'm going to tell you guys, and this is across the board for anything you're going through. Meditation, which is deep breaths, and meditating on what do you want fixed in your life or healed in your life. What do you want wisdom for? Anything that you can think of that is going on in your life that's making you uncomfortable, the hot flashes and things of that nature. But I must tell you guys, there is a requirement to all of this because people think you just like remember the show Bewitched?
Mm-hmm.
People think you just snap your finger and that thing is done. Sometimes you can get an instant. I'm talking about instant healing or whatever it is you need, but most of the time you gotta do it just a little bit of work, like changing. Because I had to change my diet. I had to start taking the supplements for hair, skin, and nails. And I also got the courage to come and talk about this because people, they don't want to, we don't want to talk about menopause. That's not me. I don't want to do, but I'm like, it's important that we do talk about it because when I was young, oh, honey, I didn't think that was going to come my way. We think we're going to be 25 forever. Because 25 is really, really good age. Okay. But let me get some more. Let me be quiet for a minute and give Nima the floor for a second. So Nima, and not to mention you guys, Nima is an author, a poet, a mother, I would just say a wife. She is a businesswoman. She's a painter. She's an artist. She's just so much. That's why I call her Nina L. Shining Star Goddess. Okay, and we're all goddesses. It's just coming into that and believing that about yourself. We're creators also. And I can back that up with. Did you guys make a baby? You and that man? Okay, that's called creating. The creator gave us the power to create. Okay, that's your first creation. Making that baby. I mean that thing you could really that thing that the creation it talks back to you. That's your first creation, honey. You got to be God to that child. And we seek out the creator in order to do that. But okay. And Nima is writing up. Can I say she has a book coming out about menopause. She's writing a book. So Nima, share with us some of the things you found out or learned speaking to people and whatnot. And then you guys will get into some more things we can do to continue our sexiness in menopause.
Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you for having this conversation. Shout out to everybody watching. It's funny when I listen to you say that, when you were 25, because in my 20s, I actually, believe it or not, I looked forward, as crazy as it sounds, I looked forward to going through menopause because I didn't know all the ins and outs. And we're still learning as we go along. But all I knew back then was, I won't have to worry about a period anymore. I don't have to worry about this anymore. And I was looking forward to that. But as I got older and learned more, I realized that, the way we're built, this is what God intended us to do. We're supposed to have a cycle every month. It's a way of cleansing. It's a way of preparing. It's a way of, a passage, all of the above. So once I learned that, I'm like, okay, now as far as my elders, they didn't really talk about menopause in depth, and they really didn't talk about a cycle in depth. I actually, my mother did give me the ins and outs of having a cycle, having a period, going through that time of month quite a bit. But then I learned from the older cousins, the older girlfriends, the people that I was around. But as far as menopause, my mother started having children very young. So she actually, you know, I didn't get to see her actually go through the menopause because I was married and out of the house and having children and all of that. But she did share with me. So what I knew about it at that time was, oh, your mental will be messed up. Your cycle will be no more. And what else? It was one other thing. It was like three things that stood out to me. And so
Hot.
recently, I'm just going to go ahead.
I was just throwing in the hot flashes and
Yeah,
the cold
right.
flashes. But go ahead.
Right, the hot flash. No, absolutely, the hot flashes. Those were the three main things. But as I got older and started to investigate and look into different things, and I'm growing older, I remember, and I told my coworker this the other day, I could not wait to reach 50. I kept saying, oh, I can't wait to see what 50 do. I want to be 50 and fabulous. Woo, woo, woo. And when 50 hit, things started changing. Okay, well, I'm noticing some things.
Mm-hmm.
52, 52 came around. I'm like, oh, some things are changing a little bit more. Now at
Mm-hmm.
53, going on 54, they've changed quite a bit, but not to the point of, you know, it's all in, but I'm closer to it. So now I'm investigating more. So maybe about a month ago, I like all of my books. I was lying in bed, and I said, I want to write a book about menopause. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what made me want to do it, but I said, I want to write a book. You said, can you pull up, what is this? Somebody said, can you pull up wanting to say
Wait a minute.
goodbye real quick? Oh, somebody wants you to pull them in so they can say goodbye real quick, I think. I don't know what that means.
Okay, give me one second. I'll bring you in. Are you unstoppable? No, because that's somebody else. But unstoppable and none like me. That I'll get you guys in. Just give us
Oh,
a
okay,
few
okay.
more
All
seconds.
right.